I'm going to open the meeting. It's probably, 7:01. Going to open up the 10/19/21 ZBA meeting. I welcome you. I'm the chair. I'm Terry Bonza. Can we introduce the rest of you? You can introduce yourself. And
Raylene Shippey Rice. Matt, nice to meet you again.
Romeo Donate, Nottingham.
Nice to see you again.
Okay, let me read the rules. Is the chairman will call the hearing to session and read the application. Members of the board can ask questions during the testimony, anytime during the testimony. Each person who appears shall be required to state his name and address, indicate affiliation to the case. Any board member through the chairperson may request the party to the case to speak a second time. Any party to the case who wants to ask questions of another party to the case must do the same through the chairperson. The application shall be called to the present to their case, and those abutters in favor shall be allowed to speak. The abutters in opposition shall be allowed to speak. The board will hear any evidence pertaining to the case from other parties that wish to speak. The applicants and those in favor shall allow to speak rebuttal. The opposition shall be allowed to speak in rebuttal. And the board will then close the hearing and make their decision. We didn't need all that, but we had to read it. So. Okay, so this is, let's see, this is the case number 21-012 VA. This is the application from Mitchell and Carol Hale for a variance from from Article 2, Section C, 2B of the zoning ordinance to permit construction of a replacement home on a lot with the road frontage of less than 200 feet. The property is located at 59 Shore Drive and is known as Tax Map 68, Lot 37. Okay, yep, you can.
Okay.
I don't see any opposition. I don't see.
All right, so I met all of you before, so if
Yes.
I had known back then that I needed to get a
I know.
variance for this, I would have
It would have
requested
been
it at the same time. The building inspector told me that the fact that Shore Drive is now a town road since the vote in June, that I have to meet that requirement. So he told me that prior to that, it would not have been an issue. So in September, he rejected my building permit because of that one item, that there's only 60 feet of road frontage. I've got everything else nailed down. I've got the shoreline permit. We got the approval from the state and the town for a septic. We meet all setback requirements, so we're ready to go except for this.
This is it.
Yeah, we've got all the construction drawings completed now. I've got a verbal agreement with the contractor. He's finalizing the documentation now to go ahead and start. I'm waiting on the final abatement report, which will come back on Friday. It'll show what was told to me already, that there's nothing to abate in the property, so it can be torn down without issue. I mean, the existing home. So this is it. This is the final thing. There's nothing I can do to change the 60 feet of road frontage. There's no lots that I can purchase on either side of the property. Basically, everybody that I know on Shore Drive would not meet that requirement.
No, we get quite a few of those, yeah, especially in the lake, yeah, we do get.
So there's no option. I have no option. If I'm going to replace this home, I need to get a variance.
Okay, you could just read your 5 criteria, and that's all for the record.
Granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest because granting of this variance will allow construction of a more energy-efficient 3-bedroom home, which will replace the existing 3-bedroom home and will include the replacement of the septic system approved by the zoning board in July of this year. Number 2, if the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed because granting of the variance will not negatively impact the abutting properties. Both of the abutting properties on the water side of Shore Drive also have less than 200 foot of frontage, as do the majority of the properties on the lake. Granting of the variance would do substantial justice because the existing lot has restrictions due to its size that cannot be overcome to meet the 200-foot road frontage requirement. This requirement is new to the residents of this road since the road became a town road in June of this year. The intent of the requirement was not meant to apply to existing lots. If the variance is granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished because the project will improve the value of this property, and its positioning and size do not have a negative impact on the value of the abutting properties. Abutting homeowners' views of the lake will not be impacted. And the fifth one, the unnecessary hardship. Owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because no fair and substantial relationship exists between general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of the provision to the property because the zoning ordinance for road frontage was not intended to impact already existing properties. Enforcement of this ordinance would not allow replacement of a substantially outdated house. It would not benefit the town or my abutters in any way. Purpose. The proposed use is a reasonable one because the proposed use is to build a replacement home no closer to the water or to abutting properties on either side. This is to be done on an existing lot that cannot meet the zoning ordinance due to the size of the already existing house lot. B, explain how if the criteria is in subparagraph A are not established, an unnecessary hardship will be deemed to exist if, and only if, owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, the property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. Excuse me. The proposed location of the replacement home is nearly the same as the existing home with a small expansion of 6 by 28, which will meet setback requirements, and the addition of a second floor and basement. Failure to grant this request will not allow the property owner to make reasonable and necessary improvements to the property without substantially compromising the future value of the home or incurring unreasonable costs to substantially upgrade the existing outdated home.
Okay, are there any questions?
Are you gonna tear down the entire home and start all over from scratch?
Yes.
Well,
Any questions, Barry? No, I don't have any. Okay, there's
do
no,
you want a motion?
what's that? There's no, well, I gotta close the hearing first. There's no, nobody here in opposition, so we've had the discussion, so I'm gonna close the hearing on the application, and then,
Motion made to approve.
okay, well, motion, you wanna put a little more in it?
Yeah.
You can read read that thing, read the,
And I didn't see where the number was, that...
yeah, 21 is right at the top of that. No, turn to your front.
Back?
I think.
Okay.
Go to your front, no, go one.
Okay, motion made to approve the request for variance in case number 21-012-VA Victor Alpha. Application for Mitchell and Carol Hale for a variance from Article 2, Section C, 2B of the zoning ordinance to permit the construction of a replacement home on a lot with road frontage less than 200 feet. The property is located at 59 Shore Drive and is known as Tax Map 68, Lot 37.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to approve the variance. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Say aye. Aye. All those opposed? There's nobody? So,
Unanimous?
you're good.
Okay.
Finally.
Go get your shovel.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. We probably won't see you again for hopefully we won't see you again.
Nothing
Are you
personal,
planning
but
on doing that?
I like it that way.
Are you
Yeah, I don't
planning
blame
on
you.
doing that this fall?
We're really trying to. I found two different contractors, both have said that they could make it happen this fall.
Wow.
So, I've got a.
It's a tough road, too, I mean,
Yep.
in the
I've got a
winter.
verbal agreement with one of them, and he's finalizing the contract now. To make some changes to what he had proposed, and he's finalizing that now. I get the final abatement report this Friday, and it will say it's okay to tear it down without any abatement being required, which
Yeah,
was,
you had to get the,
on a house that old, from the 1950s, that was a.
that was pretty good, yeah.
That's not old.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine's old. Mine's 260 years old.
Oh,
But it's in the 50s, all the materials they used were a little worse than,
yeah, there were a lot of things that were put in that had asbestos in them that I could have sworn something's gotta come back as
Yeah.
being, needing abatement. So
That
I'm
was good.
very, very pleased about that.
good.
So.
Okay, well,
thank
you're
you
all
very
set?
much. Good night.
Oh, did you read in that 30 days?
Oh, you have your 30, you have, somebody has 30 days to appeal,
Or someone else does?
right.
Right.
I think you,
I don't anticipate that. Thank you very much.
all right,
Good night.
see you later. Okay, on our thing, we have, some comment, we have other bit, we have, some minutes from, but we don't have everybody here for the
Are
minutes.
we going to speak about the public comment?
Yeah, we can,
Oh,
yeah, if you have public comment on,
I wasn't sure what that was in reference to.
I think it's just that is that just if the public's here, they just comment?
Oh, on the agenda, yes.
Yeah.
It's open for the public.
Right, it's open for the public.
Oh, so it's just
They wanna make
public
a-
comment
Yep.
here?
Right, if there was a bunch of people here, they wanted to talk about something,
Right.
after we do that meeting, that would be the opportunity for them to speak. Okay, so we have minutes from,
Well,
9:20.
wasn't there something sent to the ZBA from somebody? I thought I saw
A joint
a
meeting.
document.
Oh, yes, there was something, yep, there was something,
Are we going to speak to that, or?
we could talk about
Get
that. if
to
you
it.
want. Yeah, we can talk about it. That was, sent, well, Scott Hogan, but it was sent from, Kevin Lemieux?
Nope, that's me.
Oh, that was you, nope, that was you, okay. Who sent it?
His name's Laurent.
When did you send that, Kevin?
Actually, they sent it directly to us, I think.
Oh, here it is.
Didn't
It was
they?
sent to me.
Oh,
and
okay,
I
and then you
sent
sent it.
to you, I sent it to you guys.
No, that isn't, I'm trying to find it on my email.
Well, if you look up, just planning and zoning, I think if you look up, that's what it looks like today, if you want to look at what, if you can find a,
Oh, okay, I've got it. I
You got it?
found it. Yep, thank you.
okay, yeah, with Mike, St. Laurent, yeah.
So it seems like this person wants certain things added to the record.
Right, he wants stuff added, but we have the minutes here. I think the only one I would agree to add is where he says that, I said, let's see. I did say, that we were gonna only hear anything new. We weren't gonna hear anything we had already heard. This was a rehearing, and that they were either present new stuff or to give us reasons why we shouldn't have approved it. So that I did say. I mean, we can add that to the minutes, but all his stuff, I'm not real anxious to add all this stuff.
It seems like it's a public document, and if a
Right, I mean,
member-
he could submit this if he's gonna, he could submit this to us, or he can, if he appeals, he can put this into the court. I mean, he could put his own stuff in. I don't think we should put him into our official record, because
Well,
there's a lot of stuff in here that I can't say that I necessarily agree that he,
well, we certainly can
came up.
find, we have a video recording, so we can
right,
talk,
right, and they can go off that.
which is what it sounds like happened, that they had a copy of the recording.
I don't think they had a copy, weren't they asking you for a copy?
Well, it's, the recording's on YouTube.
Okay, they got it up online, and
Well,
they,
I don't know if he got it from he did ask for the minutes.
right, he got the minutes, and that's what he read.
Yeah, I had to
Right.
send the minutes.
And that's what he was saying, there were certain things said that were missing, not that you have to document everything, but it seemed to me as if a member of the community
Right, but this is
asked
kind
for
of a
things to be
one-sided,
included in the minutes, that it's not unreasonable to say yes for future reference.
but it's hard to say, I'd
Especially
like
the
to make,
spelling
I'd like to make
mistake.
sure all this stuff was in there, and he's not adding this after the fact, that it was actually said at the meeting. I mean, I can't say that all this stuff was said at the meeting.
Would it be wise to wait until we have another meeting with more people present that could comment on that?
Well, we could if you want, because he has another comment on something Teresa said. She's not here. Bonnie's not here to comment, so.
Well, the only way to document would be to look at the recording and see if what people said was what people said.
Right, yeah, we can look at that.
It doesn't
Okay, so we can,
Table it?
yeah, we don't have to approve these tonight, do we? So we'll just put this off to our next meeting, and we'll discuss it there, and
What'd you do to your fingers?
oh, crunched them.
I could tell.
I know
You
it.
need a motion for that? That this be deferred to the next meeting, or?
You can make a motion if you want to make a motion to.
Well, if we're not going to approve it tonight, then
Make a
Right,
motion.
you can just make a motion to move them.
I move that given we are not, we need to look at the recording to review ensure the comments are correct. I move that we move the request to Michael St. Laurent to the next meeting.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You made it, Kevin.
Have a seat.
Told you I was gonna be late.
I know, you were good. No, you did good.
Thank you, Kevin.
We were discussing the minutes on,
Did we vote on that?
Kevin was here.
I was here, I had one question. The number 6.5 days was used more than once, but it's not divisible cleanly by 3.
What was that on?
That was on the water crossing project. And what I was just wondering is if Friday was a half, and Saturday and Sunday was a whole day, that sounds like 2.5 times 3, would that have been 7.5 days? 6.5 divided by 3 just didn't make
Right.
sense. And so, I don't know what was stated or how it was calculated, but that's just a little oddity. Let me see.
Yeah, we'll have to look and see what was on the,
And
but we're not gonna do those minutes yet, so we're gonna put them off, because he had, did you get the stuff that he wanted added to the minutes? Did you get?
I did, I
Yeah.
saw that, yes, sir.
So he was, and so we were waiting for more people to discuss if we wanted to add in that.
Okay, a full board, in other words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
More of a board,
And,
with Bonnie's not here, you would be here, and, so we put it up till the next meeting.
understood.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, somebody will review the,
Are you making an appearance and running away?
That was the ideal, but I'm happy to stay if there's anything I can do for you.
No, we're
Checking
good.
in.
We're about ready to, I think, wind up. I would like to talk with you if you got
Yeah, I
next.
can hang out.
All right.
Kevin, I suggested that one of us, and I'm willing to do it, would be to look at the recording and see if what he is saying should be added was actually said at the meeting, before we can make a decision about what can be added and what can't. If he said something should be added and it wasn't said, or it was said, then it seems reasonable that it be included in the minutes.
And is that a board member responsibility or a secretary?
Oh, I don't know.
responsibility?
I have no idea where jurisdiction lies.
Or is it just a volunteer responsibility?
I mean, I'll do it if you want, so what I'll do is I can cross-reference.
You can just look at it and
Yeah,
I think it's probably better to have
If he
a,
quotes if he quoted anyone directly,
Right, and if he said, yeah,
But it
just
won't
kind of
be
cross-reference
direct.
what his list of stuff
I'll
that,
take a look at it.
and just look at it, yep, and let us know next meeting.
if there's a word change, but.
And we can look at it ourselves if we want, but,
I'll throw it by you before I do anything
Thank you.
to the minutes.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry for giving you more work.
That's okay.
But as an independent reviewer, that might be prudent rather
yeah,
than.
than us looking at it, yeah. Yeah, because Kevin's doing the minutes nowadays anyway, so he's gonna,
Yeah, and those were very good minutes, I will say.
yeah, for a long meeting like that.
I was complimenting.
You'll find out next month, Kevin.
I was complimenting whoever did it.
This was a good start for you, it was a relatively easy.
This one was good.
Yeah,
in
it was a
contrast
good,
to last week's.
you, good thing you weren't here last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion
To adjourn?
to adjourn,
So moved.
okay, second?
What was this about select board and staff board member update? To what did that refer?
That sounds like a legacy of the planning board agenda.
Yeah, I think you're right, I think it is.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with us,
Standard item on the planning board agenda.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's just a standard item that's on every, I never noticed it before.
Okay,
It
we
meant
had a motion to adjourn,
terms of office or whatever. Okay,
we got a second?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, we're out.